Coming up on Mountain News this morning, teachers and school officials stress the importance of education despite funding shortfalls. Plus, new legislation wants to help Kentuckians keep the lights on during severe weather.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning and happy Wednesday, Mountain family. My name's Amelia Lee here with you on February 5th, and we are at 5:59, just about 30 seconds away from 6 o'clock this morning. It's also time to check on in with meteorologist Megan Dusmal. Megan, we have been talking about this weather and this rain that's in the forecast. So should folks get out those rain boots, get out that raincoat, or are we okay for today maybe?
Unfortunately, we are not okay for today. That raincoat is a necessity as you are heading out the door. Now, you won't need it necessarily this morning. Now, that will change as we're heading into the afternoon. Those rain chances are picking up through the next couple of hours. But the good news is you won't be needing a winter coat as you're heading out the door this morning. Those temperatures aren't looking too bad. We are in the 40s, some places seeing the upper 30s. Overall, though, this trend will just continue to warm up as we're going through the next couple hours. We're seeing those high temperatures for today in the 60s as you're traveling closer to Middlesboro, and in the 40s as you're traveling more towards Moorhead. Now, as we continue into the next couple of hours, even past your forecast highs, you won't see those temperatures drop. Instead, you'll see those temperatures continue to warm up as we're heading into tomorrow, because a warm front is coming through, and that's what's helping you bring those rain chances to eastern Kentucky. Speaking of the rain, we are nice and clear right now. Satellite radar is just showing those clouds moving through the area, but as we go through the next couple hours, especially towards the evening and the overnight, that's when we see those heavy rain chances and the storm chances. Amelia?
All right, thank you, Megan. Well, there is an estimated $40 million deficit in state funding to school districts. This is impacting the Support Education Excellence in Kentucky program, also known as SEEK funding. But how could that impact your school system? I spoke with school officials about this impact to education. The Support Education Excellence in Kentucky program, also known as SEEK, goes to public schools in Kentucky, including our region. It's based largely on student enrollment. At Perry County Schools, it goes towards faculty and staff salaries and more.
We want to put money back into the schools, and that's where our SEEK money goes.
The total budget for SEEK funding for the current school year is approximately $2.5 billion. Jody Maggard with Perry County Schools tells me that out of that pool of funding, they get approximately $19.5 million. Now, the Kentucky Department of Education estimates a $12 million shortfall of that SEEK funding. Maggard says if that shortfall does happen, they stand to lose approximately $95,000.
We have to be ready for about anything, and it is very difficult to say, well, what's it going to be next year?
Maggard says school districts should be set up with a contingency fund to prepare for potential changes in budgets.
Some even call it a rainy day, and when you say SEEK shortfall, that's rainy, that's cloudy, and so we have things in place so that it's not detrimental.
But school officials agree. At the end of the day, they'll continue to put students first despite funding shortfalls.
Ultimately, we feel we work really hard to just support kids and to teach kids and help them find their path to success. And I know every school district is working and putting their very best effort to do that.
To see a list of where SEEK funding goes for each school district, you can go to this story on our website, WYMT.com. A new website is looking to help Kentuckians explore education and career options in the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth Education Continuum hosted a virtual ribbon-cutting ceremony yesterday in Frankfort for Future ITI. The website provides state-specific data about career paths and education opportunities available. Officials hope it will help them obtain their goal of 60% of Kentuckians having post-secondary credentials by 2030. Part 2 of the Kentucky legislative session is underway. One lawmaker from Louisville is working to propose new legislation to help Kentuckians during the coldest and warmest months. Representative Joshua Watkins says his colleagues are putting together a policy package to address housing issues. One of those bills could protect Kentuckians facing electricity shutoff during extreme temperatures.
We experienced some of our coldest days this winter just a few weeks ago. And as a native Floridian, let me tell you, it was cold. It was very, very cold. And no one, absolutely no one, should worry about losing heat.
Representative Watkins also wants to propose legislation to address affordable housing and protect kids in juvenile detention centers from harm. Recent temperature swings have many folks feeling symptoms similar to spring allergies, but it turns out that's actually just a rumor. If you're feeling a little under the weather, Dr. William Greisner at Bluegrass Allergy Care says it's likely not because of allergies. Your sinuses can be very irritable, and changing conditions can cause the blood vessels in the nasal passages to constrict or expand quickly, which shows up as a runny nose or even sinus headaches.
Those passageways can at times get rather inflamed. They can thicken. They can result in a lot of drainage.
We are still a few weeks away until pollen season is in full swing. But if you are already dealing with a stuffy nose or other symptoms, Dr. Greisner says you might need a humidifier or some nasal saline during this time. One Kentucky man with the American Red Cross Bluegrass chapter returned home. John Sternberg was helping people recover from the massive and historic wildfires in Southern California. He sent aid to people like Holly Milburn Smith, a Georgetown native now living in LA after fire destroyed her home. Sternberg says as overwhelming as the fires might seem, he realizes he only played a small role in helping California move forward.
That one person can make a difference. You're not going to do the whole thing yourself, but one person willing to give up a little time to travel can help.
Milburn Smith actually relocated twice due to the wildfires, all while 8 months pregnant. But she says she's thankful for people like Sternberg and her family from Georgetown.
As we go through the next couple hours, that rain chance will be increasing. As of right now, though, we are looking nice and clear, just watching those clouds move through eastern Kentucky. But as we zoom out just a little bit, you can start to see the beginnings of the system that will be moving through. We'll have that very slight chance of rain for the morning and midday hours. But once we hit the afternoon, that's when we'll start to see that rain chance pick up, see the heavier rain, and then the storms start rolling in as we're heading into the late evening and early overnight hours going into your Thursday. Let's talk temperatures, though, because as you're heading out the door, you'll be expecting temperatures in the 40s. Some places a little bit cooler in the upper 30s, but overall not too bad temperature-wise. We'll continue to warm up into the 50s in some areas, 40s as you're traveling more towards north, and 60s as you're traveling more towards Tennessee. 66 is that forecast high temperature in Jacksboro. Next 12 hours, though, this is how your day will play out. You'll have those rain chances increasing, especially as you're heading towards the evening, seeing the cloud cover all day long. Temperatures warming up slowly but surely and continuing the warm trend into tomorrow. Amelia.
Well, thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning. We have more news on the way. Reactions are pouring in worldwide after an announcement from the White House. President Donald Trump says the U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip.